Hello, good morning, students. Welcome in today's class through online teaching. In today's class, we are going to start a new poem, and its title is A Bird Came Down the Book. This poem has been included in BA Part 2nd syllabus, and this poem is written by Emily Dickinson. Emily Dickinson is one of the most popular American poets. Although she came to be recognized 100 years after her death. Emily Dickinson was born in 1830 and she died there nearly 55 years later in 1886. Emily Dickinson is mainly a lyric poetess who wrote her poems in personal vein. She wrote about herself, human and divine love, death and immortality, and nature in her lyrics. In poetry, she is nothing else besides being a lyrical poetess. She explores the human soul and explains the essence of human experience. So, students, now we will explain the first stanza of the poem, A Bird Came Down the Book. These are the opening lines of the poem. In this stanza, the poetess describes the beautiful activities of a tiny bird, and the word is personified in this poem, and the speaker addresses the word as he. So let's start. A word came down the book. He did not know I saw. He is used for the word, and I is used for the poetess herself. He bit an angel bomb in halves, and ate the fellow draw. Angel bomb means a small bomb. In halves, it means in two parts. In two parts. And ate the fellow draw. Draw means without boiling or cooking. In this stanza, we find a bird at home in nature, and the bird is aggressive towards the bomb and he ate it. The description of the angel bomb as being a fellow eaten raw humanis, the little creature and places it is abnormal animal world. The poetess is enjoying her secret spying, which adds to the tension of the scene. The bird's dinner is bomb. A human being cooks his meat, but the bird cut the bomb into two parts and ate it. It is a law of nature. The bird did not know that the poetess was seeing it. The poetess describes the natural act of the bird very beautifully and realistically. This tells us about her attitude to nature. And then he drank a dew from a convenient grass. Convenient means suitable. He is used for the word. In first stanza, we found that a beetle cut up insect into two parts and ate it. In the next stanza, we will see that he drank a dew from a convenient grass and then hopped sidewise to the ball. Hopped means went away sidewise to the ball to let a beetle pass. Beetle means an insect which flies with a buzzing sound. In the first stanza, we saw that the poetess describes the natural act of a bird in a very realistic way. She botched the bird cutting the angel bomb in two halves and then eating it. Although the bird did not know Aisa, the bird was unaware that it was being botched by someone. And in this stanza, we also find the bird at home in nature. It is aggressive towards the bomb and eats it, but it is indifferent to the beetle. After eating the bomb, the bird drank dewdrops from suitable grass. Then the bird bent away, hopping to one side of the ball, but it did not disturb the buzzing beetle and allowed it to pass from its presence. In these lines, we can say that Emily Dickinson is a very keen observer of natural objects. Even the small creatures like the bird and angel bomb do not escape her notice. This shows her attitude to nature also. He glanced with rapid eyes. He who bird, he is used for bird. Glanced means a momentary look. With rapid eyes, rapid means quick, that hurried all abroad. All abroad is used for all around. They looked like frightened weeds. I thought. Frightened means filled with fear. He stirred his velvet head. Stirred means moved. Velvet means soft and smooth like velvet. Here we find a description of the head of the bird. He has a head. He has a soft and smooth head like velvet. Emily Dickinson found strange beauty in the simplest experiences. She saw a bird who bit an angel bomb in two halves and ate it. And the bird ate it raw without cooking or boiling it. After this, the bird threw rapid glances on all sides. The poetess thinks that the eyes of the bird looked like fearful beads. After this, the bird shook its head, which was as soft and smooth as velvet. In this stanza, the poetess describes the simple aspects of daily life. This reveals her minute and delicate observation. The speaker begins the poem by describing the simple yet beautiful movements of a bird. This is likely a sidewalk of some kind near the speaker's home. The speaker is able to observe the bird's actions without becoming frightened. This says something about human and their interactions with nature. The speaker is simply reporting on what she is seeing and finding importance in the actions of the bird. Like one in danger, cautious. Cautious means careful. I offered him a crumb. I is used for the poetess. I offered him. Him is used for the word a crumb. Crumb means a piece of bread. The poetess offered a piece of bread to the bird, and he unrolled his feathers. Feathers means plumes of the bird, and rode him softer home. In these lines, the poetess says that after eating the angel bomb and drinking dewdrops from the grass, The bird felt there was a lurking danger for it. The bird feels some danger. The poetess offered a small piece of bread to the bird, and the bird became cautious and took gently on its wings and very softly sailed to its home. The movement of the bird was softer than the oars which help in sailing the ship. Then oars divide the ocean to silver for a seam. Seam means a line of separation, or butterflies of bank of noon. Leap, leap means jump with joy. Leap means jump with joy. Plishless means without any sound of plunging into water. Leap splashless as they swim. This is the concluding stanza of the poem. In this stanza, the poetess describes the bird's power, ease, and union with nature. The bird departs into an ocean of air where all creation is seamless. It is limitless. The bird has no limit. The bird is about to fly very softly to its home. The movement of the bird was softer than the oars which are used to sailing a boat. Or the bird flying in the air is like the butterflies which swim in the air without making any sound. Similarly, the bird also flew away. In these lines, the poetess used metaphor. He used a beautiful metaphor for the bird. In the last 6 lines of the poem, poetess used a metaphor for the bird. The atmosphere is seamless or limitless, in which the bird flies like butterflies who disappear in the air without making any noise or disturbance. The rhythm becomes smoother like the bird's smooth merging with nature in the last 2 stanzas of the poem. Thus, we can say that the poetess has given a beautifully vivid picture and has found a sense of joy in the objects of nature. It is a descriptive poem. The first 2 stanzas show the bird at home in nature, aggressive towards the worm, which it eats, but politely indifferent to the beetle. The bird bites the angleworm in 2 halves and eats it raw. The poetess enjoys her secret spying. Then it drinks dewdrops from the grass. In the 3rd stanza is described the bird's frightened uneasiness. Then the poetess uses metaphor of its eyes being like beads and its head being like velvet. In the 4th stanza, the poetess and the bird share a tension. The bird is about to flee. The bird departs into an ocean of air where all creation is seamless. The flight of the bird is as smooth as the movement of the butterflies, which does not produce any noise. Emily Dickinson's treatment of nature is best described by a critic, Conrad Aiken. So students, this is all about the poem A Bird Came Down the Bog.